So, good evening. Good evening. So, today is another beautiful evening with my audience. And today's topic is, as you have seen, it is Kautilya. As I have given the name, I found it's very appropriate name for the level of this particular subject he used to handle. That is Cloak and Dagger. What we know as Cloak and what we know as Dagger. So this is basically how he used to control, how he designed the intelligence bureau of Chanakya Maurya. Okay? And as we will go ahead with this discussion, we will see everything he told is relevant from our family level to the global level. Every sentence. So I opened my university level textbook while going through this topic today, and I was seeing every line, I was seeing every word what Kautilya mentioned, and they are so systematically designed and applied to the life. I feel it's more of a psychological analysis of a human. He died, he did, okay, to design this system. The thing is, you have to understand what is the weakness of people, general human being, what is the weakness of a king, what a king likes to do, what we like to do. If this would have happened with me, what I would have done. If the same thing happens with a king or an administrative head, what the person can do. So to understand that, first we have to know the person Kautilya. A brief story about him. One day, in the evening, one of his friends, a scholar, went to meet him in his house. So he was doing some work, and that friend was waiting outside, and he saw that he's writing something with a lamp, oil lamp. And he said that the work is over. He put off that lamp, he put another lamp. And then he called the person, come, my official work is over, now you can come and we can talk. And he was curious. He said, why did you put off that previous lamp? He was also a scholar, who is the friend of Chanakya, is not a common man. So he was curious. Like you switch off one light, you switch on another light when there is no disturbance in the previous light. And he was working, so he was doing the delicate work while talking to his friend, he switched on another light. Then he said, what's the reason? He said the previous lamp, the lamp and the oil has been sponsored by the government. It was purchased by the money of state money. So it is the resources which I was using for the official work. Now since you have come not for the official job and to personal interaction, I have put off that lamp and I have switched on this lamp, and this lamp and the oil has been purchased by my own money. So this was the level of sincerity that man had. In his own house, nobody was seeing him, and Chanakya, being Chanakya, nobody was there during that time to ask him any question. If he would have using this type of things are so small, so minimum things to use as resources, he would have never been asked a question. But it's not the matter of asking a question and then correction. As a person, by birth, he was so different that is reflected in every corner of his work. So the small, if you check, you will find these stories. Our teacher also told this. See, this is the sincerity we should have when we are doing something for our country. Or even if you are going to a common place to use that, you are going to train bus, you are using public resources. How many of us are having? Now we are going out, immediately switching off the light of this room. So we could say, I paid maintenance, so I can use this light. I am using, but when now we are going out, then why to keep the light on? It's just a bit of consciousness and just actively doing something to save our resources, the common resources. So this type of man was Kautilya. Now, when this man is doing something, plotting something, planning something for the administrative work, we expect something very new from him. He is to believe that everything is state. Right? He was a diplomat, he was the prime minister. So he said nothing above state. Okay, when we are, whatever person you are, whoever you are, no individual is larger than the institution and the state, definitely. Neither Kautilya nor Chandragupta. Because the hands will change, we are having a lifespan to work for our people, it will go to the hand of some other person later, maybe the son or maybe somebody else who is capable of handling that power. But the state remains state. So hands will change. Since that's the reason, we cannot compromise maintaining the standard of the kingdom from all aspects. And he said, we can do anything and everything possible to maintain state. He actually meant anything and everything. He was so strict. Sometimes in Chandragupta Maurya is to feel that he is little too much. That much is not required. And then he used to quote this, nothing, no one is greater than the state. So once upon a time it was in the hand of Dhanananda. Chandragupta Maurya was the son of a Dasi. So he had a half royal blood. He had royal blood with the Dasi and Dhanananda's son he was. So he had half royal blood and he had the blood of Mura also, from where he had got the name Maurya. So you were no one. Once Chanakya told him, you didn't have anything, you got it. There was somebody, some mistake has happened by Dhanananda, the ego, all these things. We use that, we realize what was happening was not correct, people are deprived, the king is very egoist. Using those, we have plotted something, some revolution upcoming, all those things. Now after that he was not there, you were here. Remember, if you do the same thing, some other person will upcome one day to pull you down from the power. So it's like a cycle. So since you are not the crown prince, you just got it. So you have to maintain it with a double effort, because you don't have your royal blood. You have a mixed blood, so don't forget that. And only Chanakya could tell that on his face. So he said, yes, this is fact. So accept the fact and please work accordingly. I was the one who helped you to become the king, because I could not become the king being a Brahmin. And he was a kingmaker. Yes. Kingmaker is different from king. That leadership quality is a very different thing than who is making the leader. So many of the time those people work better as a supportive system, not leading from front. So Chanakya was like that. So Chanakya used to correct him very on and off. Sometimes he also used to get very, I'm the king. Indian subcontinent after British India. That's the second biggest kingdom, United Kingdom, from east till Afghanistan, from Burma till Afghanistan, and almost entire India after just below Himalaya. It was there. Tibet was a different question. Anyway, Tibet, the other side of Himalaya, was in a different way. It was difficult for them to go. So this entire thing, remember, that time when technology was not there, everything used to happen manually. If you have to give one message to one person in Bangladesh or Myanmar to Afghanistan from east to west, you have to travel maybe many thousand kilometers. And by horse. It's not that you are sitting here and saying what is happening in the Amazon forest. Live telecast is happening. So that time when it used to take maybe 10 days, 20 days, see, from Sri Lanka, Sri Ramchandra took 21 days to walk and go to Ayodhya. So from Navaratri to Diwali, that's the way it is. It counts perfectly for 21 days. Even if you go by horse, even if you take half a days, imagine any information used to take 10 to 15 days to go from one corner to another corner. There, he made the system such a strong way standing that even if you are not present in that place, your administrative system should be such that people will have fear about the punishment in their mind, although you are not standing in front of them. Like teachers do, gives the homework to the student. Teacher doesn't come home to see the student is doing or not. But the student should have the fear and the respect. Everything for the teacher. The student will do the homework and next day the student will submit the homework to the teacher. So that's why it's the control. So Chanakya says if you have a dream, big dream, you should have a big plan also for that. To support your dream. Otherwise your dream will remain as dream only. It will never be fulfilled and you will not have a practical way of seeing your kingdom such big way. So then we are coming to today's topic. So how he is to manage the spies. Administrative system used to have two levels. One is very open. You have your ministers, officers in place. The small pockets used to be there, state or province or whatever you say, all those administrations are happening. But that time there was no technology, as I said, no CCTV footage, okay, no other measurement, no checks and balances. No checks and balances, nothing was there. So how you can make out, how you can just follow what they are doing, how to check them. Yes, people will be scared of you, you have to be always means rules and regulations, but it is not possible that every individual will be 100% into following rules and regulations. There may be everybody not equally sincere to their work. Impossible, because you are dealing with different sorts of people. Not equally educated, not of equal human nature, not of equal sincerity. So there is a chance. You have to assume that there is a chance and there may be a loophole. So what the king used to do? That underground effort of keeping the check was spies, which we call espionage. So how the spies will be one officer, the various levels of spies. The very common thing was keeping the check of each other. That's the best way. I will keep check on Manorama Didi, then she will keep check on some other person, this and that. Like that it will happen without knowing. Just I'm having a friendly discussion with somebody. That person will not even understand that I'm just having a casual talk and I'm giving, oh, today I went there and this thing happened, because that level of people will talk about medical journal is having the article about new medicine of cancer. What this doctor has done, what the science lab has done. So lawyers will talk about what the verdict has given, what the new case has given, like that. Suppose ladies are meeting, a kitty party, they will talk about their common interest, I mean to say. When they are talking about their common interest, without their knowledge, they will give the information to each other. That's the best way to keep a track. And everybody will be into that network. It's like a spider's net. Without knowing that I am passing information about my colleague to somebody else. Same way somebody else is passing information about me to somebody else. And there is a pyramid system. From 10 people it will go to 8, then 6, then 4 to 2, and then first one. The first one is the king. The king will get to know if there is something serious, finally it will go to that. Before that there will be various levels, various filters. Until and unless it's very serious, it doesn't go. Day-to-day matters or small things do not use to reach to the king. If it is serious, then he would have handed, and when it is there in his hand, then the result will be, the consequence will be definitely not, it will be serious. So, we find this spice in Rig Vedas also. The earliest mention of spice using the term spasa. Spasa means sparsha, touch, being connected. So, even Vedic literature said you have to be the main successful king will create the network such a way so that he will have this connection with each other in the team and with him also in different ways. Of course, Mahabharata is famous for all those the spice things. You know, when Jatugriha Kauravas been invited to stay in a house which was made with fat, inflammable items, and they stayed there. So Vidura came to know about that there is a plan which has been plotted for them. Then he informed one spies, and then he sent another family of 5 brothers and a mother, almost of same age of Pandavas, who became the guest of Pandavas for that night, and the entire plan was Vidura's plan. So they went there, and when the house caught fire, Pandavas with Kunti came out of the house. They stayed back, they died, they were burnt, and the dead bodies were found as if all the Pandavas, 5 brothers and Kunti died. So here also it was Vidura's plan, that he knew that something like that can happen. So he managed the situation like this. And on and off, Mahabharata, this plan is quite complicated, very political. So sometimes Krishna did it to know what Kauravas are planning against Pandavas. On and off in the form of messenger, dut, or in the form of spies. The difference of messenger and spy is messenger will take the information. When messenger will go very openly, like I am bringing the information of somebody to you. But sometimes messenger also, and messenger will be very officially presenting himself. I am just giving the message to you. Spies will be hidden and collecting information. But sometimes, like Krishna himself, when he used to deliver the messages, he could see the face of other people and he could understand what type of thought process is going on in their mind. But I think that Krishna only could do, reading the thoughts behind what is happening, and sometimes they used to be given the power to take the decision on spot. Like even if you are a messenger, some powers, certain powers will be given to the messenger also to take the decision till this level. Like we say, no, like you are going to, even the shopkeeper, 10% discount. If the customer wants, you can give up till 15%. 10% go to 11%, 12%, up till 15% you can give. Like that, the power also was to can be given to the messenger to go, because he was such a close person to the other party. He had that power to take the decision that till this much I can negotiate. So Krishna negotiated that if you are not giving half of the kingdom, at least give 5 villages to 5 brothers. Then Kaurava said, no, leave that. You cannot ask your kingdom. You have to fight and take it. I will not give the grain of mud what can fit on the needle, on the top of a needle without battle. And after that, there was no other goal than fight. It was so clear message. So that's what I mean to say, that was the job of a messenger and the difference between messenger and a spies. So Mahabharata is having all these full instances, pre-war intelligence, psychological convert tactics that mostly happens with the messenger, more of messenger than spies. Then coming directly to this is very interesting things, because Kautilya is to believe state is the only thing that we can bend down to. Nothing below that. Below that everyone is individual. So ultimate thing is state. That's why you can do anything. So what type of spies he used to keep? 9 types of spies were there. Usually beggars. Okay? Beggars, yeah. Drunkards. Disoriented people. Sages, fake sages, householders, shopkeepers, bird poets. Okay? And mostly the shopkeeper of the liquor shop. See how he has chosen those places. Beggar can be there anywhere on the street. Sitting, sleeping, covering the head. You will not know whether he is sleeping or not. So be careful about beggars from now. Disoriented people. You will think they are disoriented, but they were good actors. Okay? Sometimes those people, actual beggars, used to work so efficiently under him. There were instances. Because sometimes acting also you can't, maybe that is not so natural. Please consider the people who are conspiring against king is also not common people like us. We all have fear about king. We don't have guts to do that. People who are having guts to do that, go to that level, are also having, they know all the tricks and all those things to keep themselves, present themselves to talk in a proper way, using sugar-coated words in the public, all those things, they also do. From there, sometimes actual people have been hired and even they need to know that they are passing informations. You call a beggar, tell them, I'll give you 5 rupees. Just follow that man and tell where he's going. Whose house is entering. That much. That man, beggar will come and tell that man has entered that person's house. That person may be the nephew of a government official. So the connection has been made in a different level. Just this much information which he was required, which cannot be done by a proper citizen, well-dressed citizen, or who is known, who is under the normal surveillance of people, can give you. Yes, drunkards. Very efficiently he used them. It used to look like they are talking something maybe not very sensible. They are they are drunk. But there only information is to be given and information is to be taken. Yes, householders, common people, very lower middle class people who is coming in your house and going, you are also going somewhere and all. Same way what the beggar is to do, this person, usually very, very unnoticeable people used to do this work better. Yes, sages, fake sages, of course you go and fall in their feet, Baba, do something for us. My son is not getting this, my son. Palmist, Jyotishi. Okay, gives, knows some information about that person. Okay, the weak point. My son is not getting service for last 2 years. So he will know 2-3 points. Information was already given to him. And then he has to collect 10 more informations from the person because he knew your weakness is the son is not getting job. So you are desperate for a job. You are desperate for money. So if you are in the list of suspect of the king, these are the way information can be given. Mostly people will find out, king will find out what is your point of interest or weak point. Somebody loves to drink. The person is taken to a bar. Give him 2 glasses and he will start telling you the word of heart. So many things are, even in classical literatures also, Three Musketeers, and then there's a beautiful story about one friend. He just cheated another friend. He wrote, I'm forgetting the story. He has been jailed in the Italy's one prisoner of, no, it is something like that. He wrote a letter against king. He signed. He just crushed the paper, threw in the dustbin. They were drinking in the bar sort of area. And then the friend picked up the paper. It was not torn. It was just crushed and thrown. He used that handwriting, that letter, and given it to the king. And then he was arrested and thrown to jail. And that time it means exile. He was sent to some island in the jail of Italy, you know, that time. And said he could marry this friend's fiancé, he could get his house, everything. That person become a prisoner for next 30 years and he lost everything, and that by cheating that man could get everything. So this type of things, you know, it was very much in practice that time, or it can happen anytime actually. So bar is the place, the same thing, that person lost after 2-3 drinks and he started telling. Then he said, okay, just write. No, he pretended that he is writing something. The prince started writing and signed it. It was just like some small children are playing or writing something. He could not realize that how it can be misused by his one of the best friends. Okay, then shopkeepers, different type of people are coming there. So that way, if you know a person for a long time, you sometimes share your household information also to that person, and that can become something. If it is noticeable, and from there filter will happen, and whatever required will go to the king. Bird poet, you know, the singers who is to move around and sing. Okay, in Bengal they are called baul. They will have some instrument, they will sing. Usually they will talk about God, life, philosophy, but there are some songs, so people will not notice them. The most unnoticeable people. Baul means batul. You know, baul word has come from batul. Batul means one who cannot talk in very formal way or insane. They are used to very high philosophical words, songs like that. They didn't have housewife, but they used to go and sing. No, people used to invite them to stay at night, have food. Again next day they will go for singing like that. They never used to stay in one place. They were like that sages only, but not so strictly. Their way of having life was little different. Sometimes information is to be collected when you are going through a kingdom and asking and saying what is the condition of law and order and administration of the kingdom, and you are passing through the other places. Nowadays, we see the spies are mostly of giving information. But Kautilya's time, it was mostly for, not only for diplomatic purposes, it was mostly for to maintain the law and order, to have a look how the people are doing in the kingdom, whether they are good or bad. Everything is there in place. System is there, everything, all informations are coming, but still, everything is coming good. That does not mean that king will not have a check. Because king cannot wait for something serious happen, then he will get up and be taking a step for that. So he has to be always alerted. Kautilya says, administration should be such that king can take a break for 30 days while the system will go in the same manner without deteriorating even for an inch. You have to, because you are a human being, you can't take a break. When the king is sleeping, still the administrative system should be awake and alert. So that he has to settle. He is a human being. It is not possible for him to keep an eye. And you know, that time it was not possible also. Now technology helps a lot. That time the system and the method only was there. So it was only human method. Manual method was there mostly. So how spies is to create public debate. Public news, I will create a fight in the public area. And I tell, see, the road is so bad, government is not working, where our tax money is going, this way, that way, that way. Slowly, slowly people will start gathering. From one person, then two people, then crowd will be there. Then people will start talking, I will be silent. I will be saying what they are talking. Slowly that road is not good, will go to corruption, where our tax money is going. So they will get to know, oh, this is the thing. Yes, I heard this thing happened. So in an area they will go where they will catch the local officers a bit, or it will go to their ear, how people are reacting, whether they are okay or not. To know that, they used to create the fight. Sometimes they used to fight, means the physical fight is to happen, to see whether people are stopping them or they are also getting involved into them. If people are stopping them means they are used to with peace. If people are getting involved means it is a common thing that happens and law and order is not doing anything. So they used to create something very different and they used to get to know something very different. Corrupted and punished officers were trapped by money. Nowadays we'll see in the button they will put the camera. Okay. And under the table money will be given. They will have some information from somewhere. This department, something is messed, something is not happening. So they will be waiting how to catch, because you need evidence. Even if you know, you can't say, look, you need evidence. So how to get the evidence? That's the way. So the button camera and then catching that. So they used to be purposely given the trap of money, job. If you don't have a job, like my son doesn't have a job, so I'm in need of a job. Then power. If you remove that mayor from there, you can be in that place. Sometimes killing of the king. I will in the bigger level. If you help me, you know, there are ways, that is very extreme level, but that also would happen. So I can do something so that king can be killed. So till that level it can happen. Weak people who are weak in character, they were tested by women. That was very much in practice that time also, even now also. There is a lady, I will connect this with the present world, almost present 20th century, and Kautilya. The story, there was a lady whose name was Matahari. Okay? Matahari, her name was different. He was a French lady. He was born in 1800, late 1800 he was born in France. And, he was born in, he was a Dutch lady. And he had connection with France, Italy and all other. In Europe, Matahari was very famous. By birth, he was Dutch. Matahari's name is a Malay name. Okay, Asian name, East Asian name. That means the eyes of the day, that is sun. She was extremely beautiful. She had more of little bit disturbed childhood, you can say. She had to be independent from very young age. And because she was a dancer, actually, on the stage. And because of her beauty, slowly, the audience of her shows became so expensive. Only the rich people of this society could afford to enter her shows. And that rich audience had government officials, ministers, means all top and cream people of the society. Because she was so attractive, she has been used. Actually, her husband also was a Navy officer. Through him, she got to know many other officers of other departments of other, like European meet is happening, the allied powers, they are having meet, so their officers are meeting. So she used to go there with her husband. There was a huge age difference between her husband and she. And she got to know those people. Then she has been appointed by the French government to be the spy for Germany. And then the stories, what people say, she had multiple friends, and then she used to make friends of only that level from where she can collect informations and pass on the informations to other countries. Germany could realize that any time they plan for any crucial diplomatic program they are doing, somehow it is not happening. The opponent countries, other party is getting alerted. Something is happening that even under tight security, with tight secrecy it is kept. Somehow it is not happening. After many days, they also started doing the research that why it is happening like that. And then, after many years of that espionage, Matahari was caught by German government, and she had been executed and then she started to save herself. She started giving the information of Germany to France. So she was cheating actually both the countries. So finally, she has been executed by a French firing squad in 1970. If you search Google, you will find the photo. The firing squad is standing in front of that. She has been tied with a wooden pole, and then they wanted to blindfold her. She said, no, I don't want to be blindfolded, and she had been fired like that. So this is a trend, using different types of spies for the work that they used to do. We have some famous spies. I will tell those names and then I will connect them, that how Kautilya told the same thing which has happened before also. The spies of India, Ajit Doval, all of you know his name. national security advisor he is. You know, he was in Mizoram.
Oh.
Okay, he was in Mizoram. He was in his main work was in Pakistan. He stayed there. He stayed in a mosque and that operation we know, that is a known thing. I will start from the Mizoram thing. Mizoram was having this issue, the upcoming of getting separated from India, and those problems were happening that time. So apart from that, what has happened already, the story is 7 major leaders who were the separatist leaders. He went there, he became friendly with them, and then he invited those 7 major leaders in his house for dinner. And he told his wife, today 7 of my friends are coming to have dinner. And she cooked dinner. At that time, no, in that place, they were going with very small setup. They had small house, not much servant maid. His wife only cooked dinner for all those separatist, extremist leaders. And she told many years after that my God, I didn't even know for which people I cooked dinner. Those 7 people were there in my house, and eventually that night she didn't have any help. She only served them food on her own. And that time, because the wife is serving food, it is in their close-knitted house, you get a very comfort level. You know, you feel I'm at home, the lady of the house is serving me food. So in that comfort level, whatever he wanted to know, he got to know all the informations from them. Just after 3 days, he closed the house and he shifted to Delhi because the work was done. And you know, Ajit Doval, the feature he is having, short fellow, not much hair, very common look. You can't even suspect him lamba chauda, like a hero sort of look. The spies can never have that type of look, but you can identify him or you can spot him for his feature. And that was the thing. So that is the way, and very commonly it has happened. That's the way he collected the information, and when the job was done, he forgot. Later they realized that was the man who plotted this way. So if it is a good acting, if you are doing it in a wholeheartedly, if you get engrossed into the work, the duty, that's why they say your state first. If you think you are doing it for your state and nothing comes, you know how risky it is that night. If they would have come to know, they would have sensed a bit also that somebody from the intelligence department of India is there sitting on the other side of the table. That would have been the last day of his life. So the risk, now it sounds like a story. That moment, in that situation, what those people, any moment, spies are having that fear all the time in their mind. If people come to know, especially in such level, maybe not in public place where it has been staged as fight and war, but in those levels, if it is known to people, if they come to know, spies are always to be killed. Doot avadhya. Doot, messenger, cannot be killed. Because messenger is just carrying the message. But spies, if you get to know, you can immediately kill the spy. Because you don't want the person to deliver the message. Telegram, whatever the old system we had. No way. So you have to stop the info, cut the information there only in that person. So just kill the person. वहाँ तक जाने ही मत दो जहाँ पे this man will take the information to other hand. So that is always the policy. Then Sarabjit Singh. Sarabjit Singh must have seen the photo of Sarabjit Singh. A very complicated case. Actually, he was a farmer in the borderline research and analysis wing. He was a law agent. So he said, I'm a farmer here. But they say, yes, the court case went very long. Then they have convicted him and he was in jail in Pakistan. And he had been attacked by the jail inmates and he died. So it is strongly believed that that attack was also a part of the plan because they could not execute him in a legal procedure. So they planned, it looked like inmates only attacked. In jail the fight is very common and you know all are criminals. So that's the way. So they didn't kill him, but the way he was injured, he had internal injuries and then he succumbed to the injury after that. So after that, so mosquitoes, the next one I like to mention is Kulbhushan Jadhav. Kulbhushan Jadhav is another case. He is also suspected as a raw agent, but actually he was an Indian Navy person. So he had been arrested from 2016. The court, it has gone to UNO's court, actually, United Nations, because India had to appeal there so that Pakistan releases him, but still it is delaying, and he was not allowed to meet the family. Only one diplomat met him. So even suspected spy also, they can send something, and the moment you are being sent by the government in these cases, the problem is the moment you are caught, government will withdraw all the support from you. Then you are alone. You have been sent by the system, but it has been trained like that. It is understood like that only. The moment they suspect something, so it needs a lot of training. There was a movie called Razi.
Yes.
Alia Bhatt married a Pakistani diplomat. Her father arranged this marriage, his own daughter. Because of lung cancer, he could not be in that service, so he prepared his daughter to become the spy. So although she became emotionally attached, but she was doing her job, then it became a difficult situation for them that personally they can't be a part of, they can't have any personal attachment or involvement with anything. And in that country, when you are there in that country, in their land, everything goes, anything may go against you. Yes. Because connection, there will be one connector. With the spy, Kautilya says there is one connector. But that connector is something, the bridge is very fragile. He is maintaining he told in his book, remember, the bridge is very fragile. How you maintain the bridge is about you. If you can't maintain that, the bridge will be disconnecting you from the mainland. You will be alone. So whatever it is, you can take your life, but you cannot be caught. If you feel that you are not safe, you escape or you just take the final decision. You cannot be caught. So many things are there. Like Ravindra Kaushik was called the Black Tiger of Indian. He was also in Raw. So many instances are there. And yes. And the interesting part, the last part of this is the how to, when we are talking about the extreme steps to protect, how to protect that. Okay, the spies. One more type of spies were the poison damsel. The poison damsel, which we know as Vish Kanya. Poison damsel damsel is, it is very, although it sounds very different all the time, this woman, why they are always in the discussion also, even Kautilya also, on and off, he brought this into his discussion, that how the woman power can be used. We were talking about Draupadi, that is also woman power. This is also another side of woman power only. He said that is my study of psychology. You have to understand the human psychology and you have to prick there where they will catch your trap, what you are feeding them. This poison damsel is also like that. These girls used to be fed with small quantity of poison from their childhood. So they become immune to poison. Okay, they are called Vishkanya. Chandragupta Maurya's time was the first instance of using Vishkanya or poison damsel in our history. Kautilya was the first person to use that for diplomatic purposes. So they become immune, but if they touch someone or go near someone, then that person will die. So those girls, if their weak point, we say, no, what is whoever's weak point? Somebody likes money, so trap with money. Somebody doesn't have job, so trap with job. Somebody likes to drink, trap him with drink. Whatever the person likes to do. Somebody likes to eat, take him to a hotel and talk to him. Well, he will be feeding him lots of things, he'll be happy, he will start taking. Same way. Somebody is having some weakness over woman, then trap with woman. You know what the instance was? Chanakya would add a little poison to Chandragupta Maurya's food. Okay? Because he knew that thing was started by him. So he first prepared his king for this. A little bit of poison he used to always mix in Chandragupta's food to make him immune. One day, his pregnant wife, Chandragupta's wife, happened to eat. She was pregnant, no, so she was sitting. Usually they don't share food there. And king's food is also tested. So Chanakya is to make sure that food will be tested by someone, then only it will go to Chandragupta. Though Chandragupta gave that food to his wife, she was thus poisoned. She had the food and she got poisoned. However, Chanakya was able to save her son. When he came to know, because she started showing the reaction of poison. Chanakya thought, my king is there, because she was carrying. So he could cut open her tummy, and took out the baby. It was a boy. Okay, the boy was named Bindusara, because Bindusara had one bindu of poison in him. That is what his name was, Bindusara. Bindusara was then when that wife died, and Bindusara became the next king. When Bindusara grew up, he came to know later, he asked how my mother died. So sometimes, news you cannot hide for years after years, it depends. When Chanakya was very strongly established, he could manage. Slowly, as he was getting old, situation changes. People think the seriousness of secrecy also goes down. Then, when he asked how my mother died, then he came to know that by eating the food which was given to Chandragupta, his mother ate and he died. Then he called Chanakya and told, because of you my mother died, you should be in exile. I am throwing you out of the country. Chanakya says, okay, I am going. Then he went there and sat in form of, he was in meditation, he was sitting there. Then later, Bindusara came to know, he stopped eating and drinking. He said, when Raja has thrown me out of the kingdom, this Chanakya is no one there. Chanakya is Chanakya when he is in that position. When he becomes one of the common men, he is no more Chanakya. So there is no Chanakya. Chanakya to know that because he could bring or take out the baby from the mother's womb, Bindusar is alive now. Then Bindusar realized his mistake and he went and he wanted to brought him back. In the meantime, where he was sitting, that was a wooden plank. Okay, Chanakya had one means opponent people. So they put it was a cremation ground where he was sitting because he said, I will be dying here, you can just burn me there. So Bindusara sent people to bring him back. In the meantime, by mistake or by plan, the opposition people put the fire in the bench where he was sitting. It was wooden bench and the legend says he was burned into ashes there only. Some legend says he has been killed in Sri Lanka. Chandragupta Maurya got fed up at the end of the rule, and then because too many restrictions were there on him, so he said, now I have to get rid of this man. Some people say he used a secret supari killer, so that person killed Chanakya in Sri Lanka. So this is the way. So when we are saying the state is the first and anything and everything can be considered to be ethical. The thing is, when it comes to the matter of state, you can take any policy, you can do any plan that is considered to be ethical. So that way, if you are taking out a child, killing a woman is ethical, you are sending a Visharanya poison damsel to someone is ethical, or even Chanakya has to give life for the king is also ethical. So this is the way his system was made like that. There are so many layers, so many stories are also there, and especially Indian kings, when you will see, even in our Indian army is having Arthashastra as a part of their course.
Yes.
It's not only the book of economics, it is basically a book of sociology. So a part of that is there in Indian army also.
And military strategy.
Military strategy also. Mandala theory.